Hello, hello. Happy New Year's Eve, everybody. Welcome to Raincross Farms Makery. I'm Robin. If you're new, my name's Robin. Behind the computer and behind the camera is my husband, Bill, and we are located just outside of Lewiston, Idaho. Cold and snowy winter storm warning, Lewiston, Idaho. So we're having a good old time. We are kind of snowed in. So when you hop on, say hello.
Hi, Cheryl.
If you're new, let us know where you're from. Happy New Year's Eve, Cheryl. Hi, Leanna. Welcome, everybody. Hi, Ken. How's everybody doing? Do you have New Year's Eve plans? And if you don't, is that your plan
I'm
to
gonna
not
go
have
live
plans?
with my wife.
Yes, that's your plan. We are going to get dressed and go out into our living room. I might try to talk him into watching a movie with me.
Well, wait a minute.
Don't know what yet. I don't know. Maybe maybe the proposal in honor of Betty White. Can we please have a moment of silence for Miss Betty White? Rest in peace. Sweet, sweet woman. Anyway, didn't really want to go there. Hi, Beverly. Yes, plan is to go to bed. Yes, we will not see midnight Pacific time.
Cheryl says they have a busted water pipe.
Oh, no.
From the street to the house. That is not
That's
good.
not fun. Have you got the water turned off at least? Or is it gushing?
Ken, what movie are you watching?
She's been in a few. Yeah, I don't know. I think the one I think of with her is The Proposal. She's just a feisty old lady. Anyway, okay, so well, let's get going in case you do have plans. If not, just hang out with us for a while. So, quick reminders. We would appreciate it if you would love our page, follow our page, and sprinkle our page to others so we can get our word out there. Following, we have, what did we have? Let me see my numbers.
10 degrees outside.
We
right?
have 704 followers. So we only need 296 before midnight tonight to meet our goal. So go to it. Get to it. Call all your friends. Tell them to follow our page. Anyway, also if you would like a notification to your cell phone, a text message right before we go live, you can text the word live to this number, 208-425-1960, and we'll get you set up on that. That's a free service, and it just gives you a notification about 15 minutes in advance. So you can grab your beverage, grab your snacks, and join us here. Hi, Patty. So another reminder, tonight is the last night that this is the club transfer, exclusive club transfer. After tonight, if you're not a club member, you cannot get this transfer. Any signups after tonight will get the next one. I didn't post that. I meant to post the picture of the new January club transfer. Anyway, so if you really liked that and you wanted to get in on club, tonight's the deadline, midnight Mountain Time, to get signed up for club to get the December transfer. So, and also there is our Out with a Bang sale that Chalk Couture is having, and it also ends tonight. They have a bunch of transfers, a lot of them sold out, but some of them are still there, and they're available at 50% off retail, and if you're a club member already, it's 60% off. So if you're interested in that, type the word sale in the comments and it'll send you to a link. It's not too late to get in on what's left there. Okay, so for tonight, we are going to do kind of a New Year's resolution theme, but I'm not real big on New Year's resolutions. What about you guys? Did I already say hello to Patty? Hello, Alana. Spending the evening at home with hot tea and a great movie.
What movie? Oh, It's a Wonderful Life.
Wonderful Life. Betty, what she said she might do a Betty White. I don't even know what all movies she has done. I know. And, I'd never heard that she was sick. So I'm hoping she just didn't wake up. That's how I would like to go. I just want to go to sleep and not wake up in heaven. So, like I said, I hadn't heard that she was sick. So I'm hoping she had a very peaceful passing. Okay, let's see. Where was I? Oh,
I don't know, where were you?
resolutions. I don't know about you. I can usually never keep them for more than a week. Maybe I bite off more than I can chew. Maybe
Amen.
I don't know. Hey,
Amen.
Patty. Patty number 2. Patty number 1. Who's that, Robin? Who's that? Betty White? Is that, if you just cut on? Maybe we were talking about Betty White and her passing today. If that's what you were asking. Anyway, so I had asked you on, was it last night's live, to be thinking about some New Year's resolutions or some was it?
We were in,
Oh, that's right. We were traveling over treacherous snow-covered passes for Daisy. We'll talk about that in a minute. Anyway, I asked you to think about some resolutions or goals that you have, something that you're wanting to do or needing to do, or a monkey on your back that you need to get rid of. And so hopefully you thought of some of those. Otherwise, list a couple of them. What are some things you want to accomplish? Not just big things, not just buy a new house, not just, finish your college degree and you're just starting.
those are all good
But
things.
those are all good things, but not just big things, but what are some little small things too? Like I need to mop my floors. Not a huge thing, but it's still not done. Okay, so while you're doing that, tell me what you think in the comments. What are some of your goals or aspirations that you'd kind of like to see take place in the next year? Okay, in the meantime, we're done with the reindeer. We made this before Christmas. One side says reindeer crossing, one side says reindeer parking. The reindeer are gone. They're not parking, they're not crossing, they are at the North Pole. So we are going to, just like 2021, we are going to wash it away and start fresh. So this is our board and base. So it comes with this 2-sided chalkboard frame. It's meant to be reusable. And it's also got this little wooden base that's got a groove in here. And I decorated it up with a ribbon. I'm going to take that ribbon off. Maybe. I just hot glued it in 4 places. So it wouldn't be hard.
Now you do.
Okay, you just want to live to see the next year, okay? That's a good goal. Oh, come on. Okay. I'll untie it. See if that helps.
Probably hot glued that too.
No, there we go. And I got little hot glue spots, which I can cover up when I go to do this new one. Okay, now this base, I can paint it if I want. I can leave it this natural wood color. I could sand it down and maybe get a little different. I probably wouldn't get too much of a different color sanding it, but I could paint it and distress the edges. Anyway, we'll put that aside for now. So here is our reindeer crossing, reindeer parking. I did this with paste. So I tell you, our paste is semi-permanent. On specific surfaces, it can be removed.
Okay, people, we're getting major outages, and I know it's not us. I know it's not our
Internet?
I know it's not our internet. We are directly
Facebook?
hardwired to it, so it's got to be I mean, everything shut out completely for a good.
Well, I
20
hope
seconds.
I hope it's not too glitchy for you.
Go back to what you were doing. We weren't having any glitches, and then all of a sudden, boom.
Okay. Well, don't bring them up. If they're not bringing them up, don't you bring them up.
I'm just giving you a heads up. It's not us.
Okay, so our paste is water soluble. So this is, because it's dried, it's smudge and budge proof. It's not like a chalkboard. It's not coming off just when I wipe it with my hand. So I'm going to show you how to remove it. I'm just going to take water. This happens to be distilled water, but it does not need to be. That's just what I keep here. And I'm just going to spray it. And I'm going to wait a couple of minutes and let that water kind of absorb. It's going to soften up the paste. Okay, Beverly says it's Facebook. I would not be surprised. Okay, Liana wants to spend as much quality time as possible with her family, especially your parents. Yes, I get that. Okay, less TV, reading more, 2 books per month, be up to 4 books per month by November of 2022. Awesome.
Do I need to
Great
go back
goals.
and do what I did in my classroom and teach people what goals are?
No, no. Okay, so it's softened for a minute. I'm going to take, this is our paste scraper. It has this beveled edge, so this isn't sharp, but it is very pointed, and it's a firm plastic. If you didn't have one of these and you wanted to do this, I'm told you could just use a credit card, something stiff like that. And I'm just going to take it, and I'm going to start scraping off the paste. And you can kind of see that top layer of it is scraping off. Not completely, but I'm not done yet.
Not done yet.
But wait.
But wait, there's
There's
more.
more. Did you see that cartoon
Wait, there's more.
with the 3 wise men? And I can't even think of what his name is. They said, here, baby Jesus, we brought you gold and frankincense. And then the guy who does all those commercials says, but wait, there's myrrh.
He works with a drummer.
Okay, so I've got that scraped. And I'm going to just take a paper towel and clean up all of that scraped off paste. And you can still see I've got some ghosting here. You can still kind of see
You want to see over the top
lightly.
here, babe? We put it over the top.
Don't necessarily
There you
have to.
go.
Okay, so to get rid of this, all is not lost. This will still come off. I'm going to take my board eraser and I'm going to just give it a quick dip in the water. And with my board eraser, look at that. I'm getting rid of all the rest of that paste.
Christina says chalk couture hat. The scraper works great on my wood floors, but
Oh.
it's stuck.
That's a good idea. I just use a spatula, like a pie
And
server.
then she flips my pancakes with it.
Yeah, that's not a big deal. It adds flavor. Okay, so here we go. I've got that completely cleaned off. No ghosting. No evidence of reindeer crossing. Okay, so let me do the other side. Again, just spray it with water and give it just a minute for that water to kind of soak into the paste, because our paste is water soluble.
Patty says her immediate goal is to get her chat fuel set up.
Oh,
Yes.
well, let me know. Hit me up, because we've had some problems and we've worked out some problems. And let me tell you, their chat was less than desirable. It took forever for them to respond. And then they're responding 2 days later. Did we answer your question? Well, you didn't come back on for 4 hours. I had moved on. Okay, so I've got that soaking. I'm just going to use this to scrape off that top layer. These are great because they don't damage the surface. Now, you can't do this with all surfaces. Like, you can't do it with a wood surface, because a wood surface isn't completely flat. But unless it was smooth enough, if it was some of that manufactured wood product stuff, you might be able to. But you can always try getting it off with a board eraser on just about any surface. And what doesn't come off, then you might need to sand it down. Okay, so I've got that off. I'm going to give it another quick spray, board eraser, and just give it a little elbow grease. Again, our board erasers are a lot like magic erasers, but there's no chemicals. You could probably get away with using a magic eraser to get the paste off the surface, but again, we don't recommend that you use them. That's too deep. No, too deep.
Huh?
Too deep, teacher.
I can't help it. I was born this way.
No, too deep. He's getting out his PowerPoints for smart goals.
It's not a PowerPoint.
No, we're not getting that deep. Okay, so I've got lots of. We'll start doing Facebook Lives for your crowd. Awesome. Okay, well, hit me up on that too. I can help you out. Okay, so lots of good goals. Need to go live at some point? Yes. Oh, and Cheryl, there is a ton of training for you in Chalk and Honeys to do that. Chalk and Honeys. That's our team. Our team group. Okay, so I've got this completely cleaned off. Done with my paste paper. I'm ready to do a new one. So in honor of the new year, I've had this for months and I've just never used it. Now today's the day, or tomorrow's the day. It says one day or day one. You decide. So how many times have you said, one day I'm going to go live. One day I'm going to spend more time with my parents. One day I'm going to start reading more books. One day I'm going to do this. One day I'm going to do that. And maybe that one day never comes. So one day or day one. Day one is kind of the proactive, okay, I'm starting it. This is day one. And tomorrow is a perfect day to call day one. Anyway, so that's why I picked this one. It's kind of motivational for whatever goals you have. So don't just sit around and say, well, one day. Start with, okay, day one. This is what we're doing. So that's what else I want to talk to you about. Okay, so I'm fuzzing this. I shared your great page. Awesome, thank you. I know what it's like Greek to me. I know, you almost need somebody right there with you, walking you through it. But like I said, lots of training, and I can help you out too. Okay, so I'm fuzzing this sticky, reusable silkscreen transfers, reusable 10 to 12 times, maybe even more if you take really good care of them. And I'm fuzzing it because this is the first time I've used it, and it's super, super sticky. So the fuzz or the lint just gets it a little less sticky, especially the first couple of times you use it. Because you don't want to stick so hard to this surface that you stretch it or pull it or tweak it when you're pulling it up. So I've got some fuzz on it. This is nothing magical. It's just a terry cloth towel. It's just fancy because it's in Chalk Couture colors. But you could just use a regular towel, or you could, as long as it doesn't have dog hair on it, you could just use your t-shirt and get some fuzz on it. Okay. And that actually got hair on it. I can't even blame that on the dogs. I have to blame that on me. Come on. Okay, so don't get your own hair.
If it has dog hair on it, what do you
It's
do?
not dog hair. You pick it off. And if it's really bad, then you get your board eraser and some water and you clean it off.
And can you blame the
Okay,
dog?
so this does. You just take your board eraser to your dogs. Okay, so I'm going to put this down. Now I need to remember on this board and base, because it's going to sit down inside here, I don't want to completely center it. I want to leave that little extra margin at the bottom because it's going to sink down into that base. So I'm going to line it. I think I'm just going to line it up at the top there. Good enough. And I'm going to push down on it and get rid of any air bubbles. And there's something under there. If you do it with your hands, you can usually feel if there's big pieces of lint.
That's not a dog hair.
Well, actually, that was. Okay. What that big orange thing is. Okay. If you do it with your hand, you can kind of feel if there's big chunks under there. So use a semi-clean towel. I probably need to wash that. It's not visibly dirty, but okay, so I'm pushing out all the air bubbles. Okay, so here is my little hack on resolutions or goals. I can't say I always do this because it's obvious I don't. But there was a time where I could get my house cleaned by playing the 15-minute game. I don't know where I heard it. I didn't think it up myself. But
Emily Barnes.
oh, it probably was. No, it wasn't Emily Barnes, but it could have been. I would go I'd pick a room, and I'd set my timer for 15 minutes, and I would work on cleaning that room for 15 minutes. And when the timer stopped, I had to stop. And it was amazing what you could get done in just 15 minutes. And they say success breeds success. So it got to where I felt so good about what I had done, I had to set that timer for another 15 minutes. Like, I need 15 more minutes. Wait till you see what I get done in another 15 minutes. It kind of became a game, but 15 minutes was very manageable, very doable. So that's what I'm proposing to you. Whatever your goals are, think about what you could do in 15 minutes to start towards meeting that goal. Probably you're not going to get it to that goal in 15 minutes, but what could you do in 15 minutes to get you there or get you started or remove a roadblock, and then do that every day until you're either just so burnt out on that goal or you've accomplished that goal. So that's what I'm proposing that you try. You pick one of those goals and you ask yourself, what can I do for 15 minutes a day? Now that doesn't mean you can't do anything else. Like I said, success breeds success. You're going to feel good about what you accomplished in that 15 minutes, and hopefully you'll want to keep at it for another 15 minutes and another 15 minutes. If not, you've at least got 15 minutes under your belt. Okay, so I'm going to switch gears. I'm going to use our Talkology paste on this, and I'm going to use our Couture Teal. A lot of my goals this year are kind of business related, so I thought, okay, I'll do it in Couture Teal, and I'll mix it in with white. So I'm going to do one day, and day one in teal, and I'm going to do the or and you decide and the little embellishments in white. Okay. Chalk paste, which is chalk in paste form, and I'm going to give it just a little stir. I haven't used this color in a while, I think since spring. Okay. So tell me what your thoughts are about the 15-minute thing. Can you picture yourself? Can you picture where you would start?
Cheryl says she's going to start that with the grandkids. Maybe they'll finally get something accomplished rather than making a big mess. No, that's grandkids.
No, I mean, that could be the cleanup. That could be your cleanup time. You're going to help grandma clean for 15 minutes.
Or 5 minutes.
Or 5 minutes.
Depending on the age.
Yeah. You too, as an adult. You might need to work up to 15 minutes, but I don't know. I can waste 15 minutes really easy.
Oh, yeah.
Without even thinking. So rechannel that rechannel that 15 minutes into something productive. Okay, so we've got working it with grandkids. I think, is that what did your mom used to do something like that? Did your mom used to do something like that? Or did she just say, we're cleaning this room?
I don't remember exactly. I'd have to ask Joanne. That's another hack that you've dealt with too that you need to share.
Oh, well, and along with that is getting yourself a cheerleader, because it would get to where I would text my sister-in-law and I'd say, I need a cheerleader. I'm going to set the timer for 15 minutes. And I need you to text me in 15 minutes and ask me what I got done. So that was like a little extra added incentive, because I knew somebody was going to ask me what I got done in 15 minutes. So I'm going to peel this off. I'm going to side to side. Don't peel from a corner.
Lana says she loves the idea. She has a tendency to get sidetracked. I think it helps keep that focus.
So for 15 minutes, you can train yourself to get focused for 15 minutes. I hope. Okay, so here's my one day or day one. You decide, and that's the key. Is you have to decide. No, nobody's going to decide it for you. Okay, so I'm going to let this dry. While I'm drying that, I'm going to clean this. So I'm going to spray it with water, and I'm going to start with a paper towel just to get this first layer of paste off. Okay. Okay, so tell me what you think you would do. Tell me what goal you think you'd start with and what you would do for your first 15 minutes of it. You too. You have to think of one too.
Not me. I always do what my wife tells me to do for 15 minutes. And then I cut out after 5.
What's really starting to bug me is the floors. Because we had 16 little paws out in the snow, melting snow and dirt, and then 10 human feet stomping around our house. So that's kind of bothering me. So I could just, and it's kind of overwhelming, because like everywhere I go, there's these muddy footprints. So I could just start with one room, set the timer for 15 minutes, and see how far I get.
Cheryl says she gets finished cleaning off her desk that she started earlier today. There you go.
There you go.
That's a measurable goal.
And even if you don't get it finished, you got 15 minutes of it done. You're 15 minutes closer to being done. And tell me if you do that, tell me if after 15 minutes and you're not done, you don't feel the incentive to keep going just a few more minutes.
She says the desk is the size of half of a room when it's all opened up. She's got one of those unfold desks.
So let's see. Let me think of what some of these goals were. Okay, so let's see. For Alana, she said she wanted to read more. What could she do for 15 minutes? Did she say
2 books a month?
Yeah. So you could maybe start with your first 15 minutes is sit down and make a book list, make a reading list of what you want to read.
Beverly says clean and organize her craft room.
Okay. So break that down into 15-minute chunks. What could you do for 15 minutes? Sometimes it's not enough to just walk into this disaster of a room. Not that yours is, but mine is.
Want me to turn the camera on?
No. Sometimes it's too much to just say, okay, spend 15 minutes in here. You might say, okay, I am going to tackle the glitter, or I'm going to tackle the ribbon. So I'm gonna fill up this box, or I'm gonna fill up this tub with all my ribbons, and I'm just going to gather them all up. And if that's all you get done in 15 minutes, so be it. And then the next day, Something else.
It's all dead.
Okay, Alana's already got her list done. Okay, so what next could you do? Well, you could start reading for 15 minutes. Work your way up to more. Okay, so I rinsed this off, I cleaned out the screen, and I dried it off with a paper towel so it's sticky again. And I'm just going to put it back on the backer sheet, shiny to sticky.
Okay, let me read Alana's question. For cleaning the transfer, she tried the idea of using an ultra soft baby toothbrush to get some of the really stubborn shimmer chalk out of the transfer, and it seems to have worked pretty well.
Good. Yeah, just don't use too much pressure. Easy does it. And a little bit of shimmer, maybe, honestly, you could clean it the best possible and you're still going to have some of that shimmer. So if it's not super affecting the stickiness or it's not really clogging up the screen, don't sweat all the shimmer. Okay, disaster after Christmas. Yeah, so I know. So think about where you could spend 15 minutes to get started on that. Okay? And then reward yourself. That doesn't mean go to Disneyland because you spent 15 minutes on your craft room. But I would reward myself by calling my sister-in-law and saying, "Yay, I got it done," or taking a picture of it, and just that pat on the back from her was enough. That was a reward. Because what did I hear? Whatever gets rewarded gets repeated. So find a way to reward yourself. That doesn't mean go order something off of Amazon, unless you really need motivation. But even set up your reward in advance. Okay, if I spend 15 minutes in here, I can go sit down and I can drink a soda, or I can play a crossword game on my phone or something for another 15 minutes. And then, so find a way to reward yourself.
Liana says to get her attic organized, and being in there longer than 15 minutes is daunting to me. So that sounds like a good start. And Patty says finish crafts that she started, never got back to.
There you go.
That's our whole yeah.
Okay, so here it is in its base. And I think I'm going to do something with this base. Now, I pulled out a couple of ribbons. I pulled out this. It's not the same color, but I'm thinking it might be okay. Does that look okay with that? This is more blue. This is more green. But let me know. Give me the overhead again. Give me the overhead again.
Let's have the ribbon that
I'm getting to it. Give me the overhead.
You know what? I'm done. See you.
Okay. Well, I don't have the overhead. So tell me, how does that look? And if not that, I can cut this down. This is a little too green, but I can cut that down. Or I can just go completely off script and do buffalo check. Okay, so tell me what you think. The bluish, the blue, thin blue, the buffalo check, or this wide green? Okay, Christina says too blue. It's tiny bit too blue, tiny bit too green, tiny bit too green. Do the checks. Okay, so Cheryl thinks the blues are not. Okay, Christina likes the green or the black. Okay, so, well, you know what? Using the green would take I would have to trim it down. I don't feel like that. I'm just going to do the buffalo check because I wouldn't have to do any extra to it. So let me pull this off, and I'm going to measure out what I think I need. And I'm just going to tie it. Now I could, let me see if I can tie it and not need to hot glue it. Okay, so I'm just doing a little shoelace bow. Oh, let go, there we go. Okay, so everybody said checks look good or checks look okay. Okay, and I'm going to trim that. Trim that. What do you think? Put this on. Okay. There we go. What do you think? Simple, super simple. And I don't have to store away the reindeer for next Christmas. It's over and done with. If I want to redo it next year, I still have the transfer. I can pull this out and I can chalk it back on next Christmas. In the meantime, I have something ready to go for the new year. If you are interested in these supplies, I made a cart link, and you can type in the word, what did I pick? Decide, like day one day or day one, you decide. So if you type in the word decide, you'll get a cart link, and it has one of these board and base surfaces. It's got this transfer. It's got, I think I just put in a packet of white paste. You can switch out if you already have a transfer that you like. You can use that instead. One good thing about this is you can also use it for the vertical, because it holds it up vertically too. So it works for any of our size 8 transfers. So if you go to that cart link, you can pick and choose what you need, swap things out. Thanks for the stars, Ken. So relatively inexpensive project. Okay. I forget how much the board and base, I think it might be like $7.99 or something. So relatively inexpensive and reusable. Okay. Quick hint too, you can also get these boards. These are from Dollar Tree. They're thinner and they don't have as nice of edges, but they're chalkboards and they don't fit in this base, but you can get your husband or you can get yourself out to the garage and make yourself a base. Yeah, or you could punch holes in it and you can hang it. But this is the Dollar Tree version, but it's not necessarily meant to be reusable, but I've reused them, so the chalk comes off. But this is the Chalk Couture product, really nice, really high quality. So that was our project, and I hope I gave you something to think about with the 15-minute thing. I'm thinking about doing a challenge. We'll see how long it lasts. I mean, maybe it could go all year long, and ask people to do something for 15 minutes every day. It doesn't have to be the same goal. You can switch out the goal as often as you need. But I'm thinking about having you, at the end of the week, if you participated, you get an entry into a drawing. That maybe we have a drawing once a month for a prize for people who participate. And if you have a week you don't participate, no big deal. You just don't get entered that week. You get, maybe you'd only get 3 entries instead of 4. So let me know if you think that's something we could do. And you could actually go on the VIP page and get some encouragement from people. You could type in, if you don't have an accountability partner, somewhere else, you could brag about your 15-minute exploits on the VIP page and get some encouragement from those of us in there. So think about it. Let me know what you think. Woohoo! More stars. Thank you, Alana. Thanks so much. Okay, Cheryl said she would love that. Okay, so tell you what, give it a try. Would love that. I don't know what magic word you used, but you got something in your messenger. So, okay, I will officially challenge you starting tomorrow for a week. We'll go Monday to Sunday. Spend 15 minutes, honor system, spend 15 minutes working towards competition, working towards your goal. Either directly working on it or eliminating a roadblock so that you can work on it. And we'll see how it goes after a week. Sounds good. I will try to, I'll try to bring it up every time we do a live. And, oh, Daisy, she has her surgery scheduled. We went to Enterprise, Oregon, to this little vet clinic. And I really liked the veterinarian, the surgeon. She sounded like she knew exactly what she was doing. She's done a lot of these. She could just tell by looking at how Daisy was holding her knee that what we suspected was the problem. And so we are scheduled for Tuesday morning to go back and actually have the surgery. So to get to Enterprise, Oregon, it was Star Wars. Anyway, to get to Enterprise, Oregon, we traveled through this area called, what is it? Rattlesnake Pass? He's not listening. Let's go Rattlesnake Pass?
Rattlesnake Ridge.
Rattlesnake Ridge. Anyway, lots of twists and turns and no lights. If it's not daylight, you're kind of running blind and there's a lot of snow. And for part of it, we were able to follow a snow plow. We didn't have any problem, but we definitely would not want to take that road in the dark. Guys.
Okay.
Thank you. We definitely wouldn't want to take that road in the dark. And her appointment is at 8:30 in the morning. And that would mean we would have to leave here before the sun was up. So we don't really want to be taking that road in the dark. And so we're probably going to find a motel and go there the day before, go there Monday afternoon when the roads are at their best, because we're not seeing a real break in this storm, and have her surgery Tuesday. And then she probably won't be out of anesthesia and ready to go until like 4, and it's going to be dark again. So we'll probably spend 2 nights in Enterprise. So we'll work on getting some lives to you. We may come live to you from the motel room just to give you an update on Daisy. But anyway, yes, an unofficial star party. Too bad we didn't have.
Posted on mine, but they actually did give us a star
it was a star party?
Yeah, it gave us a $50 bonus apparently. That
Awesome.
might pay for a hotel room.
That's what we want to spend it on.
Not quite, but
Okay. Well, anyway, that was it. Thank you so much, everybody. I hope you have a wonderful New Year's Eve. I hope if you don't have plans, that's because you didn't want any plans.
yeah, for those that live in Southern California, if you've ever driven over or take a pass,
highway,
or take a highway, and that sharp drop off, that's what it's like going over Rattlesnake Ridge, but for about 25 miles.
with
In the
snow. In snow.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
Yeah. So
Thank you, Ken.
it's probably fine, but we don't want to take any unnecessary risks. Okay, so I'm going to check back with you probably tomorrow to see if you have done your 15-minute challenge. I have to think of a fancy name for it. Fabulous 15 or functional 15 or fruitful 15 or something. Anyway, so Happy New Year. whenever you celebrate, we already had a Happy New Year's wishes from Jackie, who lives in UK. So hopefully she's asleep now. But be safe, and we will see you all again tomorrow, most likely. And love you guys. Thanks for all your support. And
I think Jackie actually sent a Happy New Year to all of us after 12 o'clock her time.
yeah, she did.
Did she?
Yes,
Okay.
I think it was in the VIP group. Anyway, okay. So, bye bye. Let me